In this video, El Salvador Citizenship by Marriage, everything you need to know. Today, we're diving into a topic that's exciting for anyone married to a Salvadoran or planning to tie the knot. El Salvador Citizenship by Marriage. If you're wondering, can I become a Salvadoran citizen through my spouse? What are the requirements? Do I have to give up my current citizenship? Or maybe you're curious about the process, benefits, or pitfalls. This video is for you. We're going deep into the details, answering common questions, and sharing lesser-known insights you won't find in most immigration guides. Whether you're dreaming of an El Salvador passport, settling in Bitcoin Beach, or just exploring your options, grab a pupusa and let's get started. So the basics: citizenship by marriage in El Salvador is a pathway to naturalization for foreigners married to a Salvadoran citizen, allowing them to become Salvadoran nationals after meeting specific residency and legal requirements. Governed by the Constitution of El Salvador, you can check out Articles 90, 91, and 92, as well as the 1933 Law on Migration, okay? And that's Legislative Decree 2772. This process is one of several naturalization routes, alongside descent, long-term residency, or exceptional services to the Republic. You can buy a passport in El Salvador for $1 million. But if you're married to an El Salvadoran, lucky for you, you don't have to spend $1 million on citizenship. Only maybe a couple $1,000 on lawyer fees, and you should be good to go. By the way, MyLatinLife, we're a full-scale immigration consultancy. If you want a lawyer to handle your El Salvador citizenship by marriage or any other El Salvador residency program, you can hit us up. There's a link in the description where you can book a call and we can help get that residency and citizenship in your hands. So, what's the appeal? A Salvadoran passport is ranked 37th globally in 2025, offering visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to 134 countries, including the Schengen area and most of Latin America, per the Henley Passport Index. So it's higher rated than you think. Citizenship grants you the right to vote, access to jobs in the country, and a territorial tax system that in some ways doesn't tax foreign income. El Salvador is a little bit more complicated than other countries in Central America regarding territorial taxation, but there's going to be a way to structure it. Common questions include: how long does it take? What documents do I need? Can I keep my other citizenship? We'll cover all that and more in this video, starting with eligibility. So, eligibility for citizenship by marriage. Who can apply? Here are the eligibility criteria. According to Article 92 of the Salvadoran Constitution, a foreigner married to a Salvadoran citizen can apply for citizenship after 2 years of legal residency in El Salvador, either before or after the marriage. This is significantly shorter than the 5-year residency requirement for other foreigners, or 1 year for Latin American or Spanish nationals. The key requirements include a marriage that is legally recognized by El Salvador, typically through a civil ceremony performed by a notary, mayor, or governor. Religious ceremonies alone aren't valid. You also need legal residency in El Salvador. You must have resided in El Salvador for at least 2 years with a temporary or permanent residency permit, such as one obtained through marriage. So essentially, it could be a 2-step process where you get residency first for 2 years, and then after 2 years, you can apply for citizenship. You're going to need good conduct as well, no criminal record, verified by police clearances from your home country and El Salvador. And you will need Spanish proficiency and cultural knowledge. and demonstrate basic Spanish skills and pass a citizenship test on El Salvador's history, geography, culture, and constitution. Quick plug, we have a book. We launched a book all about learning Spanish for adult beginners. It's on Amazon. It's a bestseller on Amazon. There's a link in the description to this video to support us and buy the book. It's a really good book for learning Spanish. Back on topic, a lesser known detail regarding the 2-year residency is it can be potentially non-consecutive if you maintain legal status. But you must prove that your life is centered in El Salvador through employment or community ties. There's a whole strategy for how to build substantial ties to a country. And there might be some flexibility for people who travel frequently. Now let's tackle a critical question. Do you have to renounce your former nationality to become a Salvadoran citizen? The answer depends on your background and El Salvador's dual citizenship policies, outlined in Articles 91 and 92 of the Constitution. For Salvadorans by birth, such as those born in El Salvador or to Salvadoran parents, even if they're born abroad, dual or multiple citizenship is explicitly allowed. And they only lose citizenship by expressly renouncing before a competent authority. However, for naturalized citizens, including those gaining citizenship through marriage, El Salvador requires you to renounce any other allegiances or oaths to foreign countries. This doesn't always mean renouncing your citizenship outright, as El Salvador permits dual citizenship if your home country allows it. For example, if you're from the US, renouncing allegiance is symbolic, as the US doesn't require you to revoke citizenship unless you formally do so with the State Department. You can maintain de facto dual citizenship. In other words, the El Salvador ceremony is purely ceremonial. And unless you go to a US government building to renounce, it's not valid in the US. The US is not going to recognize a renunciation unless it's done through formal channels and you do it in person yourself. If you're from Mexico or Canada, both allow dual citizenship, so you can keep your original nationality without issue. Okay, so moving on to the application process and requirements. How do you apply for citizenship? The process is managed by the Dirección General de Migración y Extranjería, the DGME, and involves several steps. 1. Obtain legal residency. Apply for a temporary residency permit through marriage at a Salvadoran consulate or the DGME. You'll need a marriage certificate, all these other documents, passports, pay a small fee, and get your residency. By the way, we can help you get your residency in El Salvador if you want to get some lawyers to help you through the entire process. Again, link in the description to book a call with us, become our client, and we can get some lawyers on the case for you. You'll need a police check as well, a bunch of other documents, and maintain that residency for 2 years. Reside 2 years legally in El Salvador, maintaining the residency status, ideally spending 6+ months a year there for the 2 years in order to show your seriousness of intent to reside in El Salvador. You can also apply for permanent residency after 3 years, but if you opt for citizenship instead, you don't need the PR. So if for whatever reason you don't want citizenship, after 3 years of temporary residency, you'll be able to apply for permanent residency. That might be helpful for people that don't want to renounce their previous citizenship if they have something like Chinese citizenship or something that's incompatible. But for most people, they're going to opt for citizenship, especially for Latinos. This is an incredible thing for anyone who was born in a Latin country, where you can potentially be on a 1-year path to citizenship in El Salvador. And that's worthy of its own video, by the way, because that's a serious life hack. You'll then take a citizenship test. You'll demonstrate Spanish proficiency and knowledge of El Salvador's history, culture, and constitution. The test is manageable, but requires study. Then you'll take the loyalty oath before a government officer, finalize your citizenship, receive a certificate of registration, and you'll be able to apply for a El Salvador passport. Here's a hidden tip. Hire an immigration lawyer. They really don't charge that much, and they're going to streamline the whole process, ensuring documents are apostilled and translated correctly, everything's filled out the right way, per Salvadoran regulations. The process can take anywhere from a couple months to 6+ months. Depends how much you prioritize it, so that's why I highly recommend having a team. Next, let's talk a little bit about why pursue Salvadoran citizenship and what are the challenges. The benefits are significant. Global mobility, visa-free travel to 134 countries, including the EU, the UK, Latin America, lots of countries, easing international trips. It's honestly a solid passport. You'll have economic freedom. El Salvador is doing things right economically, territorial style tax system, low tax, maybe no tax on foreign income. It's great for retirees, remote workers, expats. They use the US dollar as well. And here's a lesser known perk, regional access. El Salvador's CA4 border control agreement allows free movement among Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua for up to 90 days, enhancing travel and business opportunities. It also gives you residency rights in these countries. In Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, you can live and invest there as well with the El Salvador passport and be on a fast track to citizenship there as well. It's really crazy. You could do the El Salvador thing, and then you could go live in Guatemala for a year or two, get citizenship there. Central America is just a land of flag theory opportunities. The challenges include bureaucracy, manual processes, inconsistent consular practices, which can delay approvals, especially outside San Salvador. Cultural integration is another thing to think about. The citizenship test requires Spanish fluency and cultural knowledge, which may challenge non-Spanish speakers. But if you're going for the passport, you should be learning Spanish. It's not that bad. You'll learn the language. To wrap up, let's answer how can you ace the citizenship by marriage process? Some tips for a successful application to ensure success. So validate your marriage, ensure it's registered in the El Salvador Civil Registry, secure residency early to start the 2-year clock, maintain that legal status and presence with minimal absences, prepare for the test, study Spanish, study El Salvador's history, geography, and constitution, hire a lawyer. Immigration firms can navigate the apostille requirements and all the quirks of the DGME, saving time. Check dual citizenship. Confirm your home country's dual citizenship rules with its embassy. And join expat communities. We have Telegram groups, we're on X, we have the podcast as well, and connect with other people to share tips and strategies. I also recommend building cultural ties. You can do things like volunteer or join community events to demonstrate integration, which can impress immigration officials during your application review. Citizenship by marriage in El Salvador is a rewarding path to a vibrant nation offering global mobility, tax benefits, and a secure home in Central America. With just 2 years of residency, a valid marriage, and a citizenship test, you can join El Salvador's growing community. And there you have it, future El Salvador citizens. Citizenship by marriage in El Salvador is a rewarding path to a vibrant nation unlocking global mobility, visa-free travel, tax benefits, a secure home in Central America, and CA4 travel. Whether you're settling in San Salvador, surfing in El Tunco, or dreaming of a Salvadoran passport, I hope this video answered your questions and sparked excitement. So what's your path for El Salvador citizenship? Got questions about the process? Drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more global citizenship and expat insights. See you in the next video.